The state bird of Texas is no longer the mockingbird, it's the construction crane. The state bird of Texas is no longer the mockingbird, it's the construction crane. The state bird of Texas is no longer the mockingbird, it's the construction crane.
Welcome to your house, where you can stand or sit at your leisure. This is your chamber.
The legislative session starts, everybody's really excited. You're getting on a roller coaster. You go up this big hill, tick, 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 tick. Turns out to be about a 6-week hill. The real clashes of the session don't really start until you're out of this first 60-day period. A lot of the resolutions and things are honoring somebody at home, and if I'm the legislator presenting this, it's important to me, but it's malarkey to everybody else.
Celebrating a special day here at the state capitol, and it's Frio County Day. The county's particularly known for their peanuts. Used to grow a lot of cotton there, but now it's peanuts.
Today, I'd like you to join me in celebrating the birth of a man that's dedicated his life to promoting and teaching the game of golf.
So I'd like to take a moment to recognize the 7th grade class of Valor Public School.
A long history in agriculture with spinach production.
The University of Texas at Dallas, where not only I got my excellent education, but I also got my Mr. Charming, my husband.
They're still meeting. There's a lot of apparent nonsense. Some of them are really serious.
The city of Houston had 4 officers that were shot and 1 that was injured. So if we could please give a moment of silence.
You know, they honor war heroes. They honor people who have been in the news or who have rescued people who are heroes.
Whereas on November 5th, 2017, the community of Sutherland Springs experienced great tragedy and heartbreak when a gunman opened fire on worshipers.
Had it not been for Stephen Williford, who knows how many more defenseless Texans would have been killed or wounded.
We're almost to the end of the start of this thing.
Members, this is a resolution to invite the governor to address us in the State of the State.
The State of the State speech is the governor's idea of what the legislature should do, what should be an emergency item, something they should take up immediately. But it's not an order. So when you listen to a State of the State speech, one of the things to listen for is what it is that the governor's asking the legislature to do that the legislature just might not want to do.
Your governor, your friend, to all Texans, the Honorable Greg Abbott.
Governor Greg Abbott gave his biennial State of the State address today in Austin.
And I am proud to tell you that the state of Texas has never been better.
The governor addressed several items, including a few emergency items that he wants to take care of this session. We're joined by Emma Platoff with the Texas Tribune.
So this morning, the governor laid out several emergency items. In Texas, there are certain limitations. You can't pass a bill for the first 60 days of the session unless the governor declares it an emergency item. So on some of these things like property tax, education reform, lawmakers can get to work right away.
And I am making property tax reform an emergency item this session.
With a lot of the population explosion that Texas has been experiencing in recent years, you have a lot of people who are paying a lot more in property taxes, than maybe they did 5 or 10 years ago. So state lawmakers want to step in and try to curb that growth.
People are being taxed out of their home. Gentrification is a new word that everyone understands. If your tax bill's gone up 37% in 4 years, that's an emergency. You can't put home ownership at risk.
In 2017, the House and the Senate could not agree on where to kind of cap revenue growth. This time you have the leaders of both chambers coming out saying they're unified at 2.5%. That's far below what even the Senate, which was more conservative last time, wanted. In Texas, where there's no income tax, property tax is a major source of revenue for cities and counties, school districts. So there's not surprisingly been a lot of pushback from lawmakers and city and county officials who are saying that's way too low. They may have to cut city services.
A 2.5% cap would limit, practically prohibit, my city from having a strong law enforcement presence.
Unfunded mandates and attempts to tie the hands of local governments, police, and fire departments are counterproductive
I mean, the big thing to watch with this legislation is, how close to 2.5% that rollback rate stays.
What's your number? If you don't like 2.5, give me a number. Because doing nothing is no longer an option.
Our organization has been able to come down here for over 30 plus years. They expect and look forward to seeing us each and every year. Our roundup is about safety and precaution and how to live with a rattlesnake. And if we can get that message across to maybe one child, maybe we can save somebody from being bit.
That's probably a better picture. I'm here with the Sweetwater JCs promoting the Sweetwater Roundup. I'm from Fairfield and taught in Tyler for a year before winning Miss Texas. Teachers work way more than their hours that they put in the week. I put so much of my personal money into my classroom. It would definitely be nice to help teachers out for all that they do. It's a hard job, but it's one that is so important for the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Texas, Madison Fuller.
I am declaring school finance reform and increasing teacher pay as emergency items this session.
Education funding has been a big issue in Texas for decades, and they've been trying and failing to permanently reform it.
System that we have in place today that was created in 1984, I mean, the things that are in there just make zero sense for us to continue doing it. And if you don't fix it the right way, meaning if you don't go and just do a complete rewrite of the system, it's not going to work.
We must provide incentives to put effective teachers in the schools and classrooms where they are needed the most.
We still have failing schools in our districts. Why? Because we don't possibly have the best teachers that are dealing with the toughest problems.
Dallas ISD has a merit pay program where they rate their teachers, and then they put the ones who rank the highest in their struggling schools.
Dallas went from 40 school districts that were failing to 4.
No one's really talked yet about where any major additional funding would come from. They cut around $5 billion from public education in 2011, and as local property values go up, and the state is not required to put as much into public education.
You can't have school finance reform without property tax reform. You have to have both together because the majority of your taxes are made up of school property taxes.
Our mission begins with our students.
This is the governor's priority, and we're going to get it done. We're going to craft something that makes sense. Now, when it gets to the floor, who the heck knows?